Alright everybody, we're here to show you what we did with the roxor, a little more update. And we stuck in a couple of gauges. I'll let my lovely assistant start the roxor up so we can take a look at them.
Yep.
Flip on the lights there, honey. There you go. I thought the color would match a little bit better, but the gauge itself looks a lot like the roxor, and they're Phantom 2 from Autometer, and they're 2 1/16, and we did temperature and oil pressure, and we did wires rather than mechanical. So what do they call that? Anyway, it's a one-wire hookup. It's got a sending unit. I forget what they call it. It's electrical rather than mechanical. So, you know, no hard lines, basically, just a power wire running down to it. It was pretty simple. You know, if you pull the bolts off where you're going to put them, you can call up Summit and tell them what bolt thread you got, and they can get you pretty much everything you need. The oil pressure gauge, I found a port right down by the oil filter where the dipstick goes in. It's right on the back of the block. It's a little tight, so you got to build an adapter. But anyhow, we're going to go for a little ride here around the block with it, and let you guys go with us. You can see she's got lights. People were asking if it had reverse lights and all that. All this, you know, you can put the turn signals on it pretty easily. We'll do that next. It's not a high priority for us. There's the gauges. You can kind of see what the oil pressure runs. Give it a little throttle.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we just love the heck out of this thing, don't we, sweetie?
Oh, yes.
Why did we get it?
I was going to go straight, and now I'm not going to. Because building this would have ended in divorce court.
we were gonna do a diesel conversion into a four-wheel drive with a solid front axle and something around this size. I even thought maybe a Bronco 2 with an axle swap. You know, I'm not a huge Jeep fan, but man, this thing just, the fit and finish of it, I could have never done this for the price just to buy it.
Oh, I don't know, I like Jeep, but this is great. And I was kidding about the divorce court thing. It's just all the hassle and headache of trying to find everything.
You know, the thing is every Jeep I've ever run, you know, especially like an old 67 CJ or something, you hit a bump and it sounds like the thing's about to fall apart. You know, you can get them tight, but, you know, this is just, I mean, this thing is tight. The money I would have put in to do this, you know, with the paint and all new cab mounts and ball joints and, you know, getting the axles right, it just would have been extremely expensive with a diesel and a 5-speed. You're talking money. And we're just out for a little cruise here in our hometown. We were going to do a Mercedes diesel. We had one in the shop. It was a 300D. You know, maybe that's a little better motor. I don't know. You guys can, you know, give us your opinion on that. I mean, it's got a reputation to do 1 million miles. This is an Indian motor. The people that have gotten a hold of me that are Indian, or it seems like they are saying that this thing is bulletproof, and it's pretty hard to tear it up. So we'll see. I mean, everything's right for it to be bulletproof. You know, it's all cast iron. It's you know, overhead valve and push rod motor. You know, it's adjustable. The valves are adjustable. It's not that bucket and cup crap. You know, it's
driving.
And since we turned it up, this thing will haul the mail. It goes just fine.
Well, we do have to replace the windshield, though.
Yeah, they want a different windshield. This is Lexand or something.
No, not because apparently as you're going down the road fast, it can dislodge. And so they have a high-speed windshield that we get when they're manufacturer ready. So
this might answer some questions for some people. We're asking how noisy it is. Can you talk to the person next to you? It gets a little bit more noisy when you're going down the road at 70 or whatever, but you know,
it's mostly wind.
It's mostly wind. This thing, you know, like I was telling the guy that asked that question, you know, there's no metal sounds, no claying of metal parts together. They really built this thing really well. The suspension doesn't have the travel that an older one does because they put sway bars and stuff in it. But I don't know. If you really want to go beat something up off-road, get it just a beater and go thrash it. You know, this thing's going to be perfect for running around the logging trails, doing a little hunting out of. And we're going to do a video that way too. We got a little hunting trip going to come up, and we're going to take the roxor out on it, maybe shoot a deer. Man, you're really getting that shifting down in this just perfectly.
Well, thank you. I do try.
My wife loves this thing. This thing is great. Anyway, I can't think of anything else to add to this other than, you know, it's brand new. It's a brand new Jeep. I mean, I guess back in '67, hell, I wasn't alive then. You know, maybe Jeeps felt this way brand new. It certainly didn't come with a diesel. It didn't have a 5-speed.
It's a real beaut, Clark.
No, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some Jeeps did come with a diesel, you know. I mean, someone's going to comment and go, oh, well, yeah, no, they made a diesel. I mean, nothing totally available to the American public that, you know, with a 5-speed.
You know,
I can't think of anything,
they didn't really stop diesel production until what, the 90s?
I know that Scout had a diesel. I think they had it was a Nissan diesel SD 3.3 or 33 SD or whatever it was called.
Somebody let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what they made that was fashioned this way as a diesel. Anyway, and what else you want us to do with the roxor? Obviously, you want us to put a huge lift kit on it, you know, twin turbo, you know, snorkel.
Maybe the next one.
Yeah, maybe the next video we'll do that.
No,
I don't know.
Maybe the next roxor.
Yeah, we really kind of just like this for what it is. I mean, you gotta get around good enough just for us. I mean, we're not really into going to Moab or anything.
Although, we've been.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I was going to do something like that, I see these guys out there with $70,000 Rubicons and stuff. I would take an old Bronco, like
My Bronco.
yeah, I honestly would even do like one of the '60s and, you know, early '70s Broncos. I'd probably do like a '78 or '79, big tires on it, maybe a diesel in it. It's something you don't give a crap if you roll it. You know, you just beat the hell out of it. You're never going to beat a guy who doesn't care.
Oh, dim.
You know what I mean? You'll never beat a guy off-road who just doesn't care, is ready just to bag it through anything. You know, if you care about your stuff and you get out and wheel with it, you know, you got a guy that's willing to bring it to 60 miles an hour, just jump it, you know. And trust me, I know these people. I work with them. Anyway, there's the gauges. I'll have her bring up the RPM here, guys, to show you what this thing runs in terms of oil pressure. Bring it up to like 2,000.
Sure.
About around 75. And that's pretty darn good, really. I mean, it's pretty well warmed up now. This thing runs about 150 once you get it warmed up. It's a cool night. So maybe in the summer we'll run a little hotter. But we're up north, so you know how that is. Anyway, you guys leave your comments. We love hearing from you. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll try to do it. The front end's going to get a winch. I want to do a Warn 8274. I think that's probably the best winch ever for something like this. Super stout, really fast, lots of line. Use synthetic winch line on it. I think that'll work perfectly. So, you guys leave your comments. What do you think, honey? Say bye.
Bye, everybody.